I got asked a question during my live chat the other day that I thought I would take a second to answer here as well for those people that weren't in the live chat. And that question was, do I think that Glock is losing a substantial share of the polymer gun market? And what could they change to stop that from happening? Well, to answer the first part of the question, yes, Glock is losing a lot of the polymer gun market. They've been gradually losing the market for years now, and that's going to continue. Now, I know that's going to really tick off a lot of the Glock tards, so if you're standing next to one right now, don't slip in their piss puddle where they just piss themselves in indignant, impotent rage. But that's just reality. Sometimes they're not good at dealing with reality. Glock has been losing market share. Less law enforcement agencies use Glock now. Less federal agencies use Glock now. The Army has rejected Glock. It's just not what it used to be. But there's a reason for that. And there's a good reason for it. The reason is, at one time, Glock was all there is. They were the only player in the game. They did not invent the polymer gun, but let's face it, they revolutionized the polymer gun. They made the first, pretty much, I hate to say the word, perfect for what it is, polymer gun. And people took note. Glock was probably responsible for the biggest change in the self-defense and handgun industry, the biggest advancement in people being able to defend themselves with their own personal firearm since the J-frame. So they definitely deserve their place in history of changing the game. And for a long time, like I said, they were the only player in that game, the polymer gun market, that was worth a damn. All the other manufacturers were struggling to catch up with this new wonder gun, this new plastic wonder gun. And it took them a long time to do it. And during that time, Glock was it. So of course they dominated the market. Well, now there's other options. Other manufacturers have caught up with Glock and in some ways surpassed them. But not in all ways, and not even always in ways that matter. But there are other options now. So it used to be when someone was shopping for a good polymer, lightweight, high-capacity gun for a police department, etc., they had one option, Glock. Now they have multiple options. So therefore, Glock isn't always going to win. For one reason or another, there's going to be something else chosen. So it's just normal that they're going to lose some market shares. Same thing happened with iPhone. When iPhone came out, they revolutionized the smartphone industry. They were the only player in the game that could do what they could do. They dominated. Almost overnight, they took over the smartphone market. Now, there are phones that are as good and better in certain ways than the iPhone. And therefore, iPhone has lost a big share of the market because people have options and people want different things. So, yes, they are losing market share, but it's normal. And it's not anything that's negative about the Glock. It's just now there's options and people want different things. Now, what could Glock do to stop that from happening? Well, the answer is nothing. There's nothing they could do. And in fact, I think there's nothing they should do to stop that from happening. I don't think Glock needs to change. I don't think they need to play the catch-up game. A lot of people are saying, well, they need to innovate if they want to be the number one gun again. Well, I mean, maybe they could become number one if they innovated, but I doubt it. If there's too many guns in the market for them to ever be dominant like they were before, they'll never be what they were as far as market share is concerned. I think it'd be better for Glock to just stay what they are. Because, let's face it, if you want a polymer gun that has ambi controls, there's options for you. If you want polymer guns that have manual safeties, there's options for you. If you want polymer guns that have a hammer, there's options for you. And I'm sure you get my point here. There's already other guns that are different than the Glock. I've never understood people who look at a Glock and go, you know, that would be better if it was hammer fired, or that'd be better if it had this or that or this. And I'm like, well, so you're saying it'd be better if it wasn't a Glock, because you don't want a Glock. And this whole notion that Glock needs to keep up with these people and what they want, in my opinion, is false. Because just because they want an ambi safety, or just because they want an ambi slide release, or just because they want a manual safety, doesn't mean all of us want it. And we don't want to lose our option of a Glock. I have multiple Glocks. I have some that are modified and some that are stock. I like them. They are perfect for what they are. Just like a Smith & Wesson J-frame is perfect for what it is. But it wouldn't be the gun that I rushed into battle with. And Glocks are the same thing. They're perfect for what they are. I don't want them to be different. And every change they've been making lately doesn't make them better. In my opinion, it makes them a little less Glock. So they are losing market share. They're going to. They're not the only player in the game anymore. That doesn't mean they need to change. That doesn't mean they're any less relevant now than they always were. In fact, I think they need to stay the way they are. Because I think if you want something different, that's great. Go buy something different. It's available. They don't need to market to you. What Glock needs to do is just continue marketing to people who want a Glock. I don't mind a few minor cosmetic changes like a flared magwell, etc. But all these changes they've been making lately haven't been making it better. They've just been making it different. And for a lot of people, instead of appealing to the people that want different, I think it's just turning off the people that like Glocks. So I hope Glock does nothing. I hope they don't innovate. I hope they don't change. Because let's face it, handguns are pretty much at the epitome of their evolution. There's no big revolutionizing or, new and modern thing coming in handguns. They are pretty much super efficient at doing what they do. You could add new technology to them to make them more expensive, but the end product of actually doing what they do wouldn't be any better. So don't expect any big changes. And as far as little changes go, Glock just doesn't need them. So if you want something different, there's stuff that's different that's available to you. So instead of demanding that they change Glock, go buy something different. And that way, people like myself and lots of other people who just want a Glock will always have the option of buying one if they stay the way they are.